Hello everyone, I am Paul with many voices. And we have a dangerous fever. Welcome back to Prison Architect, my Swansong Slammer, my final prison in this game. Welcome to the final episode. As after today, I am done with this game, unless of course, let me reiterate, if you want me to play the campaign, if I get 10 comments on this video asking me to play the campaign, I will. And otherwise, I am done with this game. So, we have received a batch of prisoners. All of them are sick. A lot of them have the tropical fever, but that is fine. But they are getting sorted out. I think that I have just about everything that I need. In terms of construction, in terms of staff, in terms of just about everything. I know that the feed of prisoners is going to be a constant issue, but I honestly don't care. But in our next intake, we will be getting close to, if not a full, 1,000 prisoners. We will be getting 1,000 prisoners. So what I will do is I will save this game and upload this prison after midnight of this day. So that if you don't have the achievement for 1,000 prisoners and you want to get it, all you should have to do, in theory at least, is download this map, download this prison, start it up, have a little bit of patience, and poof, it should be done. Logistical errors, obviously. All in all, I also wanted to spend this episode talking about my thoughts on Prison Architect 1 and my expectations on Prison Architect 2. Any prisoners perhaps eligible yet? No. So, this game. Let me save this prison very quickly. 75, so that I know that. Start. Okay. So, in terms of the campaign, as this game does have a campaign, of course, it is made back in the days of introversion software, before the release of 2.0, which was their final version. It mainly serves as a tutorial on how to play the game, how to do certain aspects of the game, and it has a bit of a story, which I do kind of like. But beyond that, even though I know from experience that all of the future DLCs can be implemented, they literally serve no purpose. In terms of the DLCs themselves, they have added significant things that makes me say, are they warranted or not? Tropical Fever, the Jungle Pack. I'd say no. It introduces a very annoying mechanic and only a few items, namely the two beds for the thing, a couple of walls, couple of floors, the camouflaged towers, the camouflaged CCTV cameras. It's not really that interesting. It did add the cinema, but all in all, I don't think that Prison Architect needed the jungle pack. The undead. I'm a guy that dislikes anything involving zombies. I know I did Graveyard Keeper, but somehow that game did zombies good because they were useful. But anywhere where zombies are the enemy, quote unquote the enemy, are the bad guys, are the evil, they're just boring. So, even though this did add the graveyard, which is a calming thing for prisoners if they visit it, this too added far too little in order for me to say it is worth it. Prisoner Aging was a free DLC. And I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do this much earlier. But also, it didn't really add much of anything. As, I don't think I've ever seen a prisoner go over the age of 70. I'd say, hopefully, that prisoners will die of old age should they be in the prison for that long. But I cannot confirm that. The gangs. Now, Alpha 35, back in the intro version stuff, actually 34 introduced them, and 35 fleshed them out. Introduced us to the gangs, the 3-gang system, and where gangs could take over territory. Now the gangs DLC expanded on that. It gave us the option to go even further, saying like, oh, it's you get so many gang members, and if you wanted to do the regular stuff, you would just have to select Legacy for that. They have their special reputations. You can say that. Let's see. No. Come on. You can say that for every 3 gang members, if there's a gang leader, one of them will be a lieutenant. So it could definitely make the game harder. But honestly, the game was fine without this. Though I do absolutely love the idea that you can reform gang members through Faith Program, gang rehabilitation, ultimately... Oh, cat. Ooh, cat. Ooh. My cat just fell off the printer. Oh. I'll keep this in. I'm a professional. Absolutely not. Meow, wow. Did that hurt, cat? Did that hurt? Oh. Cat. Cat. Oh, cat. Hey, cat. Are you a little sad now? Did it hurt? Well, she's walking fine, so she's fine. Yeah. I'll be honest, reforming gang members has been a thing that I've wanted ever since the gangs were introduced in Alpha 34, Alpha 35. And this finally delivered. So is it worth it? Yes. This one is worth it. The perfect storm. Weather and intensity was introduced at some point. I don't remember when, but it was later in development during introversion software's time. Um, this is where they introduced the hot water system, and I believe also the seasons. Oh, cats, are you okay? Come, come, come. Cats. I'm sorry. This this cat is distracting. Um, this just threw that in overdrive. Once again, if you want to go with the old school version, just hit Legacy at the start. But going beyond that, let me just say that from past experience, setting this to high during a heat stroke will set rooms on fire. Out of nowhere. Is it worth it? With the rat infestations, just having the requirement to whatchamacallit, insulate pipes, insulate hot water pipes, and insulate the cables, and now also giving the option to have rebar installed. It just makes your prison that much more expensive. And if that's not something you're going for, then hit Legacy or just disable weather and intensity at all. Rat infestations, they are just annoying. And it is really, really annoying that despite the fact that this was one of the earlier DLCs, they still haven't fixed. And of course they haven't, because why would they? It's a big publisher and they don't care about this. That the guard pavilions, which by the way are only available if you use the Paradox launcher. The guard pavilions are also gathering spots for the rats, and they cannot be exterminated. So as long as you have those, you're gonna be stuck with rats no matter what. And that kind of sucks. So it is something that I wish that they would just fix. Just like so many other small things, but, like I said, I'm practically done with this game anyway. Is this worth it? I guess. But maybe also not. I'm neutral-ish over this. Island Bound is kind of fun. I mean, I used the plot type island plot, not the connected one, to get the crater. I mean, you could also use lunar plot, but it would still have the road. And I used the island plot to get the crater prison done. And beyond that, having the helicopters, having the boats, having the ferries. You may remember, of course, the old DLC Archipelago back in the day. I had a lot of fun building that prison. And of course, the Swansong Slammer is just that on steroids, except using a regular prison plot. I had a lot of fun with it. The dynamic reputations actually existed as a mutator, but they just went overboard with it. I really dislike the fact that the higher you have this, the more likely you are to get legendary prisoners. If that was not the case, this would have been perfectly fine, and it would have really worked well with the second chances that is somewhere in between here, I believe. And clear for transfer. What I had originally in mind for the all DLC Archipelago, it just makes it less fun to have that many legendary prisoners. that are just that problematic, even in a minimum security prison, like the original series of this was. Criminally insane. I guess it can be fun to run it once, a full on psych ward, but beyond that, I mean, I've always put it in because I want to be a bit of a completionist, just to have everything that the game offers. But beyond that, they don't work. They just cost money, and they do bring in a bit of money on the daily grant that they give. But beyond that, it's not that interesting. Cleared for transfer. That that was what it started for me. The cleared for transfer, and later then the second chances here after the gangs. Just more reform to just be better at that. That totally is my kind of playstyle, and that's what I've been going for with with this and all DLC Archipelago. It's just that the more you get to reform, the better your life will be in prison. Ultimately, having the best cells, having the best meals, having the best and the most reform availabilities. You know, that just that's just the way that I want to have things. Oh yeah, future tech. Also a bit of a waste. I mean, yeah, you have the whole whatchamacallit, intelligence, the tracking menu. But as you can see, I'm not even using that this time around. I don't need it. But this is definitely something useful. Of course, Buckwell is the legendary guy that has murdered several people. So he's definitely not going in here. But beyond that, you know, what do you do? We have two more. Um, no, one whole more warden, which I never used. Also, all of the DLCs would bring in at least one new warden and one or two new dogs like Bite and Subwoofer. But honestly, this is not important enough for me. And in terms of the warden, I'll always go with Savada Nova for the extra income. I mean, maybe for this one, the pacifier would have been better. Because the lower temperature means that they might have a better chance at reform. And I don't think that even all of the DLCs introduced new wardens. So, like, yeah. Jungle Pack, Undead, Island Bound. Going Green. Going Green definitely introduced a whole slew of cheesy money making schemes that require you to not build a prison. Farming Simulator, Green Energy Simulator. You've seen the everything but prison architect episode that I made for the Grantless Gals playthrough, where I did just that. And honestly, doing it once may be fun, but doing it time and time and time again, or using like huge forestries and huge green energy exports generating, just like Stuff Plus does, it's just getting boring to me. Beyond that, um, yeah, my favorites definitely will have to be the the cleared for transfer, the second chances, and I guess gangs for the reform. beyond that, I kind of don't need any of the other DLCs. Uh, so yeah, beyond that, I don't know if people even do this still. Mods are disabled for online game, obviously. I don't even know if people still do this, but you could go online. Beyond that, anything else? Yeah, it's cool. Of course, I'm gonna do it as well to share your presence, and I might just uh, publish this present. Swansong Slammer. Um, Getter. 1,000 inmates getter. Yeah, I've got a couple of other prisons. Oh, even the Minsec just. Wow. I forgot I had that. I accept, obviously. That on description. Let's just do this. Hello? No. That's definitely not it. For some reason, I cannot adjust this. Okay, fine. I'll just leave it be. For some reason, I cannot. I'll fix this later. But as you can see, I have close to 1,800 hours in this game. From Alpha 25 onwards. And I remember that I discovered this game around Alpha 25 through Northern Lion and through him looking for more stuff. I found stuff plus. I found Charlie Pryor. I found Weasel. I found Blitz. And I've been like following the development. I ultimately found a guy called the Pixel Pirate, and someone on his chat as he was playing this game, someone on his chat was like, "Hey, I have an extra Steam code. Does anyone want it?" And me not wanting to be too greedy, decided to wait a couple seconds, couple minutes, and then I just at him was like, "Hey, since nobody's wanting this, I do. I was just a little patient. I would like to have this. So, Nirguna, thank you once again. All the way back in 2014 ish, when you got me this game. But that's not the only thing. There is another thing. Name in the game. Now, a subscriber of mine named The Devil Risen decided to gift me the Name in the Game DLC back in the day. And so I created this guy. The Australian jester minion, the Devil Risen, was sentenced to prison for betraying his evil overlord Hector Doomhammer. Yes, it's me. And trapping him in the infernal abyss. Loves to be kicked around. Blah blah blah. And then I gifted him the game and the DLC, and he made this one. The one and only Rex the Devil Risen Hunt committed a myriad of heinous crimes against fish and humanity, including but not limited to fishing, gaming, being epic, and totally not doing whatever the law says. Anarchy, okay, yes. Now, this is a reference to Rex Hunt, who back in the day, in the 90s-ish, shut up, phone, ran a television program, at least here in the Netherlands, it was on Discovery Channel, Rex Hunt's Fishing Adventures. He would say, yibbity yabbity, before going away. I remember that. And by doing that, you can transfer those prisoners in, and they will be special transfers. So if they are not already in the prison, which they are not, they will be in this next one. Now let's see what we have here. I'll answer this later. It's about this upcoming Saturday, which is why I'm recording today on the Sunday, the 13th of July. And not next week on Saturday, because I won't have time whatsoever. Going back to my thoughts on this game. This game is not made with prisons like this in mind. I am running, at least for when I bought this PC, a fairly beefy PC. But this game only runs on one single core. And there's no option to increase that. So once you've reached a certain threshold, the game is just gonna be running this badly. And that sucks. That absolutely sucks. Because what if I wanted to make an even bigger prison? What if I wanted to have this prison? This is a medium size. Well, what if I wanted to have a prison on a large map, expanded not once but twice on each front? Fine, let's go figure out where this riot is. Probably just over here. Okay. I'll need to replace another guard. But yeah. So I'm really bummed out about that. I know for a fact that the developers, even Introversion Software themselves, claimed that the code of this game is just a huge mess. And that's the reason why Double 11, when they got the game, never bothered to really update it. And that sucks, because we've been stuck with this ever since. So yeah. My advice, stick to a prison of this size. The original prison. Because it has basically everything you want. You could throw in a special protective custody wing, like over here. You could throw a little criminally insane wing. You could throw a little death row wing. And everything would be fine. Maybe on a large map you could create like separate entire cell wings with amenity wings to have like a large map, but have everything that you see here just squeezed down into a large map with a very low capacity, but more. So yeah, that's the thing I'm bummed out about as well. But nevertheless, out of the almost 1800 hours I've played this game, I had a lot of fun. Especially back in the day in 2014 and 15 when I was still unemployed. This game would make me either skip nights entirely or keep me awake at night to a point where I knew that I wouldn't be able to fall back asleep unless I did it. So I would wake up in the middle of the night and suddenly have like this idea for like how would this work in this game. And the only way that I could like fall back asleep, as I said, is to actually build the prison. So honestly, there were several times when I would just get up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night after having slept for a bit, play this game, build the prison that I had in mind. I would see that it would work or that it wouldn't work. I would be satisfied and I would go back to bed. Yes, that's actually what happened. Or that at, let's say 8 o'clock, I would think to myself, let's build a prison, but I'll only play for 2 hours. And then I would have, on a small map, build a prison. It would work. And then I would get a different idea for design. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to build a second prison. I'm going to sell the old prison to get a bit of a head start in terms of starting money. And I'll try to build a different prison. And I would build that prison. And then I would sell that to build a third prison. And I would sell that to build a fourth prison. And then all of a sudden I would look outside my window and it would be getting light already. Damn it. Well, luckily I had no job at the time. So it didn't really matter. But still, it sucks. And even in the times when I had a job, that I had some time off, I could play this game for hours on end. So it's quite addictive, you know, especially building this, having this idea of just like, I need this done, and I need to do it right. I can spend hours on just planning the entire thing. Just going into planning, walls, and then just drawing the entire blueprint, and then occasionally doing doors, and mostly doing objects, like, here's gonna be that, here's gonna be that, click, 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 like you've seen at the start of the series, how far I would go. Yeah, that's just how far I would go. And that's far how I went with all of this. Because I needed to know how everything would fit, and that everything would fit, before I would make it fit. And build it. So, despite the fact that I have many complaints about the state of the game, don't get me wrong, this game has entertained me for a decade and then some. But it is time to close off this chapter and move on. So let's talk about Prison Architect 2. I still know nothing more than you do. Unless, of course, you work with the developers, whoever they may be, because I still don't know if it is still Double 11 or if it is that new guy that I talked about in episode 50.33, or if someone else has done anything, because as far as I'm aware, and you know what? Let me do that. I'm gonna some Prison Architect 2 status. And still, no updates on Reddit. And if there's no updates on Reddit, I doubt there would be any updates whatsoever. Anything else? It has been indefinitely delayed. August 2nd, or maybe even February 8th, 2024. Let's head to the YouTube channel. Nothing. Absolutely hecking nothing. This game, Prison Architect 2. Do I still want it? I don't think I do. At least in the state, I stand by my opinion of before. In the state that they presented it, without work times, without laundry, without much of the basic stuff, Prison Architect 2 doesn't need to happen. And I wouldn't be sad if it didn't happen. Now, if they would go the route that Introversion did, with alphas saying, here we have something very basic, and every month or 2 months, we're going to give you an update, a new alpha, and you get to play it. You get to be our alpha testers, our beta testers, and we're going to introduce some new features, and you test it, you break the hell out of it, and tell us what you think and whatnot. And, until eventually at some point in time where we would be at least, I'd say, at the same state of completion in development as Prison Architect 1 was. Then I'd say release it. But anything less than that, I will not be buying it. I might pirate it because nowadays buying isn't owning, so pirating isn't stealing. I am in favor of that, yes. So maybe I'll pirate it, but probably I won't. And I most likely will not play it. I'll keep my eyes on YouTube stuff. If Stuff Plus or Charlie or whatever will do something with it, I might have a look-see at it, but I highly doubt. And I highly doubt I would care. But maybe. In terms of anything else, I'd say there's not really much to discuss. I have spent countless hours building this prison, rebuilding this prison to expand over to here, and half of here. Then rebuilding the entire thing, this, that, and this, to fully expand over here for the rest, and then continue to build everything else. I've already spent far too much time on this one playthrough. And I, for one, will be glad that it's over. Of course, that doesn't mean that I hope that you didn't enjoy it, or that I don't hope you didn't enjoy it. I hope that you did. I mean, I've shown you some very extreme stuff, like the glass house death row, the absolute powerhouse of segregation, using something from every single DLC, how little it may be. Using almost every mechanic in the game, even showcasing something that I recently learned. Meow. With the workshop here and the power switches. And also finally figuring out how the status lights would work with the pressure pads. As a bit of an experiment that I did, but it worked. I adore this prison because it really pushed me to my limits in terms of a designer. But also, It's just good that it's over. It is good that it's over. So, let me speed up the process a little bit. We're gonna go back into the red, for sure. Well, once we get the 1,000 inmates, I'll get that achievement. I'll make sure that we won't ever go into the red again. But that something very terribly will happen. In the past, I would have built a prison. I would have stuck everyone in a holding cell that is very small, that has a lot of items, because the more items you have, the better it burns. And I would find a way to ignite it by calling in fire trucks and bringing the firefighters over to the housing here, and just like lighting the place up. I once had a prison where I just got rid of all of the... Well, you've actually seen that in the Calamity Crater, although it was only a brief moment, where I just abandoned the prison, sending all of my staff home. And ultimately that would lead every prisoner to starve to death, of course. I'm not even gonna do an escape attempt of this. I don't think it'll work. We have another death guard, of course. 2 death guards even. I had failures where I went bankrupt. I had failures where the riot was just too uncontrollable. Speaking of, I had, well, causing too many deaths in the prison would lead to criminal negligence, seeing myself get sent into prison. Yeah, that. I failed on purpose several times. But I've never done what I will do for this prison. And I will never do it again. Afterwards. Oh, what's this? A little bit of a scuffle in here. Thank you. Not a guard. Nope, seems like it's just a prisoner. And another prisoner. Yeah, it's getting rowdy. And I do not care. I do not care. All of the rat traps have been placed in, indeed. I was curious whether or not I did that, but I did. Yep. I'm using something from even the 2 special packs that weren't official DLCs, but were just minor updates. The Halloween tree still hasn't fully grown yet, but then again, it was only recently placed in. Cobwebs on all of the walls in here, just to make it look that little bit more disgusting. The pumpkins, the jack-o'-lanterns. I think that except for, obviously, the logic bridge and the logic circuit, and I know I haven't used the advanced searchlights, but I think I've used just about everything that this game has to offer. There are maybe some objects that I'm not using, like the sakura trees. Well, I am using those. All hail the mighty Moosehead. Yeah, like the life-ring, the stone water spouts, the mooring board. Oh, cats, what are you doing? You're so comfy. The barrels. But those are items I don't really need. I'm not using the fountain because it can only be placed on water, and this place doesn't have water. Could I? Could I? And if so, where? I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna because I don't wanna. No. We're not using that, so none of the stepping stones because we don't need them. Not even the indoor tree planter. I could use them. I'm not gonna. I am using these topiary bushes, but none of the others. Hay bales I'm not using. I think most of everything I have used. Oh, there's one final spider web left. But I do think that everything has been installed already, so let's see if I can find it. I know that they can't fit here or there. Seems alright. What about here? So I think that this is just one of those extra things that I may have ordered by accident. I'm gonna say this. Where is it? The spider web. Sell. So we don't really have any spare objects that we don't need. I will, in logistics, in transport, toggle that so that we'll get a little bit more exports and hopefully get more stuff sorted. But beyond that, there's nothing really that I want to do anymore with this game. Other than just to finish this. Every mechanic, every item, everything serves a purpose. The exterior hallways to ensure that visitors don't need to walk through the prison itself in order to get to the places where they need to be. Proper segregation, separation in outside paths everywhere to make sure that they shouldn't be able to mingle with each other. The exterior walls, buildings being far enough that no contraband should be able to be flung in, except on this end and that end, and here, obviously. Yeah. All in all, I'd say that this was a huge success of a prison. It was the dog handler that died. I was looking at guards. Yeah. Now, if I do end up with 10 comments asking me to play the campaign, I will play the campaign as vanilla as possible. I will not be using any of the DLCs. I will not be using any mechanics that were not originally part of Prison Architect. So, weather and intensity, or just weather and temperature at all, no. Probably not. Gangs, probably not. We're just gonna focus on doing what is required and the story, and beyond that, nothing else. And I may cheese things, I may speedrun it a little bit, but it's just to make sure that everything gets done. You know what? We're not gonna search. So I hope that you have enjoyed the experience of this prison, of this playthrough. I hope that you excuse me for making that 50-day time skip. I hope that you excuse me for having rebuilt the prison with $25 million to start out with, just to speed up the process. I mean, we ran out of money anyway, despite that. So, to a point where I even had the opportunity to do the government bailout grant. In terms of the hidden grants, I know that there's, as I've said, is one that I had before I hit recording for the proper episode recording, where rats actually chewed through the cables that I didn't have exposed yet, or that I still had exposed, prompting the phone call from the janitor and prompting the appearance of the grants for 50 cable protectors, which got instantly done. And there are four more other hidden grants, and I don't know what they are. And at this stage, I don't really care. Wait. Yes, that. Is that another guard that died? No. 25 staff have died, okay. Let's see. So many programs. So many staff programs. It don't really matter anymore. Even though I focused heavily on reform, it is terrible how little people how little pass rates we have. Of course, also one due to a bug in the game that still hasn't been fixed that required a mod that doesn't even work. Goodbye, cat. Policy remains as is. Let me reiterate the idea for this prison, just like all DLC Archipelago, is that basically you would start out as a maximum security prisoner. You would have bad experiences with bad food, bad rooms, bad cells. But the better you behaved, the longer you behaved better, you would ultimately go up in or down in security and up in quality of life. Better cells, better quality rooms, better quality food, and more opportunity for reform. And ultimately, you would continue your path to behave, and you would be able to go to minimum security, where you had the absolute best of everything. Now, if you did bad, no matter where you were, you would get sent back to maximum security. You would have to start all over. Like rioting, that would mean you would have to start over. But only if you tried to escape, and if you tried to murder. Only then would you go into Supermax. And you would have the absolute worst time of your life. And that was the whole premise. Just that. Now, in terms of the ingredients, I still don't understand this whatsoever. Do I need to be over here? Do I need to be over here? I'm just going to keep this in the middle. Reform. What's the number? Less than 50% will be reformed. More than 50% will reoffend. Mostly due to the gangs. I mean, look at this. And it's really cool to see some of the gang members be in the low 50s, even below 50. There you go, 45. 29. Wow. Mr. Trish. Oh, Kenway, even 23. Nylan, Ellison, wow. 2%, but you still fucked up. I have to do this then. Intake. Because this riot isn't going away before its time. And so with 666 prisoners, of which a few are still rioting. And this definitely being the biggest mistake of all. Let us welcome the final prisoners. You'll go in here. Actually, how about you go in there instead? Auto saving. Of course, I will segregate the prisoners to their proper location. But this should mean that ultimately 1,000 prisoners either this day or tomorrow. Storm brewing. Great. So we have an ex-law enforcement and a snitch. This is gonna be something terrible. Let me tell you. There are still 5 prisoners rioting. Why? Where? There, perhaps? Damn. Huh, this is chaos. And the ride is over. Good. Good, 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 good. Now let's sell this object, sell that object, and dismiss this vehicle. And here we go. Are you ready to see for the first time? That's the... Actually, green thumbs will stay here. The daily cash flow will be positive again. Look at how slow the game is running. No. You're the resourceful one. There you go. You too? Yeah. Green thumb, loyal, medium, resourceful, medium. Quick, resourceful, medium, resourceful, medium. Maximum. Maximum. Probably you. Yep. No, maximum. Quick. Resourceful. Nope, not you. Somebody else. You? Yeah. No, this is gonna take far too long. I know. There you are. But you know what? We'll just get up to 1,000. Oh, we actually have insufficient fun. Well, that's a first. So there was one more that requires... Kurt Cobain. I thought I said maximum, but sure. There you go. Minus 31,000. Holy shit. Oh, look at the game. It's chugging. It doesn't like this. And we're not even in winter yet. I'm glad that I shouldn't be entering winter during this recording session. Because if snow is gonna fall, it's gonna be horrible. So yeah, we're definitely over capacity now, but that is perfectly fine. As long as we end up with 1,000. Which I don't think we'll even get. Permanent lockdown. You. And there. So many people. What am I doing? Oh. Simon. Lock. Think. Nope. You. Callahan. Oh, this is horrible. Yeah, they're not gonna get their cell. There's just too much solitary going on. Oh, because they have no place in minimum security. Obviously. Well, that was to be expected. Well, we're almost in the green now. Also thanks to the exports. $107. Oh man, this is terrible. Yeah, cool. Insufficient fun. little bit more exports, a little bit of civilian commerce. And I don't see anyone that requires special attention. It's too much of a clusterfuck in here. But I see you, so you'll go to medium. You'll go to medium. There's another riot going on, obviously, because why not? I thought I said medium. Thank you. Venning. Medium. Scott. Medium. Ah! Rex the Devil Risen hunts. So he has found his way into the prison. Oh, we still have you here. That should alleviate a bit of the issue. Smith. Dillon. Bolton. And Donnelly. One more. And I think I found you, Palmer. That takes care of that issue. But we're back in positive daily cash flow. It may have taken me a while, but I'm there. And it's only gonna get better from now on. Logistical errors, obviously. Now let's see. No one important here, but I am seeing legendaries coming in. One, at least. Look at that. Is it you, perhaps? It is. Now, I think that what I want to do is just get a couple guys. Like, tough is fine, tough is fine. Green thumbs, definitely. Extremely strong, sure. Fearless, sure. Recruiter, sure. How many can I have? About 40 more. Jeez, that's a lot. Stokel. Loyal. No instigators, because they are the worst kind of indicators. No volatiles. Thank you. Enforcer, you're fine. Strong, you're fine. You just smell really strong. You're a legendary. You're supposed to be in. No, Supermax. You're just strong. Stokel is fine. Recruiter is fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Just de-stress this a little bit. You have absolutely no reputation, so you're fine. You're extremely strong. You go there. Tough Recruiter, you go there. Green Thumb, you go there. Nope. Supplier, you can go there. Strong. How many more? 25. 25 more. Tough Recruiter, 24, 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 'You're a legendary, so you have absolutely no business being there. Anyone else that I can do? 7. Oh, you have no reputation. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And you have no reputation at all. 0. There! That is now full capacity. And the rest will either be maximum or supermax. And criminally insane. We'll get a bunch of those in as well. Ooh, we'll get a death row mate tomorrow. So we'll definitely not pass the 1,000. What's to be expected though, but still. 30,000. we go. And suddenly we're down 25,000. How? How did I just spend... stun batons. Of course, equipment. I still have this. I still haven't finished that. Ooh. That could make things a little more interesting. So you're a foodie, you get that. You don't have any reputation. Welcome to minimum security. We got those two to medium security. And then we'll find people here without a reputation. Hopefully. Or green thumbs. Or green thumbs. Supplier. You have no reputation. Oh, those are just available, obviously. Oh, we haven't had all the bosses yet, so... Clink. Suddenly broke again. Little bit of exports. We're gonna enter a dark chapter, I guess. You know what? Free fire. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Free fire. So many bosses. And we're still not that criminally insane. Because we also get that. Time for another sip. Cats. And immediately she jumps up and runs to. cat. Cat. Oh, cat. Meow. Come here, cat. So it's slowly getting dark here as it's getting later in the evening. As more and more rioting is happening. There's the vehicle. Twenty deaths. But they have to walk the long way around this time. Hey, cats. Are you coming here again? Hey. Oh, we've got another mystery crate. It's been a while. And all the way down here. Wow. Oh, cats. Oh, cats. Levels of contraband are out of control. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. Let's get up to 1,000 guards. Ten more. At least we're processing all the prisoners really fast, so that's a good thing. One and 1,000 guards. This ought to be enough to handle the situation. It's not, but it should be. Make sure that the vehicle gets dismissed. Do not want it here. And despite the fact that we have 1,000 guards, and despite the fact that we are not paying them enough, oh, wow, minus 10,000 all of a sudden, boom, staff wages. Are you comfy, cats? Are you comfy? Switch the vehicle just to get more intake. Come on. And the closer we get to midnight or 8 o'clock with intake, the closer we'll actually... Ooh, we already have the criminally insane. Good. Good. So I might... $100 orderlies. Just to process those guys. And another riot. we're definitely getting that. It's a dark chapter in a day of this prison. Blah, blah, blah. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. I definitely need armed guards now. There's no point in not having them. Look at that, and we're just still getting. Wait, how did you die? Murdered by a prisoner. Oh man, look at just how slow the game is running. Why are you doing this to me, game? Why am I doing this to me? Oh well. You know what? I can just dismiss the vehicles. They won't deliver their stuff, but that's perfectly fine. I thought I said dismiss. As in fully dismiss. Did I just do those two? Doesn't matter. Let's leave that. $24, $21, $18. Why does that keep decreasing? 24, there you go. And there we have it. Make sure nobody else dies today or you will face prosecution. Well, my friends, that is why we have legal defense. As I have to go... Wow, 20 deaths. I thought it was 5 deaths for criminal negligence. But are we done now with intake? I think so. 986. So close. So heckin' close. And our... Jesus. You know what I'm gonna do? just gonna dump all of this. There's too much stuff that I really do not need in here. And if by accident I dump something that I'm not supposed to, then oh well, I don't care. Oh, oh. Game is running a little smoother. What the hell? What the hell? Wow. Almost all of the prisoners have been sorted out. And the rest all have to go into this tiny little bit of a hole. Well, in less than 24 hours. Oh, one death. In less than 24 hours. That was a guard that died. Wasn't it? Well, I guess that we're not gonna get up to that number. That positive daily cash flow. And punishments. And punishments. I think that'll be it. And all of the intake has been taken care of. Incredible. Unhacking believable. $50 ought to be enough. There you go. We're back in the green. A little bit of cheese, but that's perfectly fine. And there we go. That now completes the entire tech tree. Which also is an achievement. Yeah. Let's not. Let's prioritize this, seeing that hopefully that the workmen will actually dump all of the stuff that I want them to dump. No, no, no. Do not dump. Do not dump that little thing. Logistical errors, obviously. Now, could I? Is it 4 o'clock now-ish? Yeah, I guess that's 2, 1. Because I want to be done with this. We'll make the deliveries of the prisoners a little early. We'll stop the shakedown. Oh, we're so close. Is this gonna be enough? Or is it going to be like, oh no. Not. Oh man. It's finally happening. All of that hard work. $15 more inmates. 2 buses. I know. Programs. Oh man. Fine. I'm gonna have to do this a lot. No more parole hearings. No one leaves this place earlier than I decide. But I need 1 death row appeal, so we'll leave that. Come on. I don't want to risk losing more prisoners before it's time. Even though there are no paroles at this time, I just don't want to chance it. Or wait. Or wait. This ought to get us it for sure. 2, 1, and intake. Now the achievement is for having 1,000 prisoners. I don't think it states 1,000 capacity. Screw this, I am dismissing all of the vehicles that are not prisoner buses. I don't care what they deliver. If they're not a prisoner bus, I do not want it. Come on. Oh, now you're just gonna do that, aren't you? Come on. I know that I'm supposed to have a huge backlog of trucks coming in. This is not fair. There we are! 91! 99! Oh, 99! No. 98. 1000! Ah, ow. Come on. Where's that achievement? I should have that achievement right now. Build a sandbox prison with 1,000 prisoners. I guess I do need 1,000 capacity after all. Well, you know what that means. No achievements. And you know what that means. The finale. So, what am I gonna do? I'm going to be removing all the staff rooms and staff canteens. But why? I hear you ask. Isn't that going to piss off your staff? Well, guess what, Einstein? That's exactly what I want. And trust me, this isn't going to piss them off enough yet. Wait, did I only have 2 staff rooms here? 1, 2. No, 3. 3. Yeah, 3. Let's see. Staff room here. Little staff room here. Staff room here. Let's see. Staff rooms. Any left? 1. No, it's this one. Okay, perfect. Now, as for the rest. Anywhere that the staff could go to the bathroom, I'll make accessible to everyone. Including all of that. You know what, let's just make it accessible to everyone. Everything accessible to everyone. Especially protective custody, of course. Because it's not like we want our protective custodies to be safe, right? I mean, we want them to be in danger. So that'll be step one. No, this person definitely wasn't built for that. But I definitely want the staff areas to be accessible by everyone. And especially the former staff rooms. And the staff bathrooms. Oh, that's definitely a tunnel. Cool. La di da di da di da. There. Just a few more things here. I think that about does it. There, there, and there, and those two, and there. Something like this. Alright. That is step one. No more staff rooms. Step number two. A 90% pay cut. 110% to be exact. Now look at our daily cash flow all of a sudden. Let's make our staff unhappy. Unhappy and then some. Because I did not get the achievement. You need a capacity of 1,000. A capacity of 1,000. Not just 1,000 prisoners. Damn it. It was too good to be true. But at least I experimented with it. So you're going to be seeing that the staff morale is going to drop and drop and drop and drop. And we are going to coverage, disable everything. So that the rats will overtake this prison and riots won't be stopped and other bad stuff. Oh, we have an escape attempt? Oh yeah, because this area is now no longer off limits to everyone. True, and anyone can just waltz around here. Oops. Oh, we do have a death row inmate. Oh, we have some. Ooh, we have some super mechs entering protective custody. Some regular maximum security going into protective custody. Oh, because that's capacity available, obviously. Shared capacity 660. Oh yeah, insane capacity. Well, that's definitely a tunnel. Staff morale just keeps on decreasing, and that is exactly what I want. They're not getting paid enough. More and more staff will have serious complaints because they have nowhere to pee, specifically them, or poo. They have no specific places for food. And that's exactly what I want. Oh, in that case, of course, staff needs. No breaks for anyone. Everyone just keeps on working. Three, two, one, and staff morale has hit rock bottom. Now, what's gonna happen? Our staff have become unhappy with their work conditions and in the prison and have threatened to go on strike if they do not get a 50% pay rise in 6 hours. Well, guess what I'm not doing? Ooh, we have one escape. Just running out north. More deaths. So we'll probably have a double loss today. Meow. Meow. Ooh, 1 hour has passed and I have done nothing. There are 10 snipers, that is true. Guess what we don't need? Ten snipers. Autosave. We have a daily, hourly cash flow of 10,000. That's good. See, we're running a profitable prison. Isn't that what is important? Profits. And it takes so long. Oh my god, this is terrible. at full speed, a minute in-game takes a second. Which normally isn't supposed to happen. It's supposed to be way faster. Let's make this place even more profitable. So 223,000. $260,000. See? Profits. Free fire? I can't do free fire because I have no armed guards or whatchamacallit. Well, if that's the case. The max hired already. Oh, cat is hunting. Free fire in all the sectors. But luckily, this day won't end before the time is up. But I think something will happen afterwards. Riots underway? Where? Here. The riot has been quenched. Pixie. Oh man. Why so many food trays? Well, at least I completed the road to 1,000. At least I got 1,000 prisoners in intake. It just didn't work the way that I hoped. I don't need this anymore. 1 hour. 1 more minute of this. One more minute. Come on. And another riot. $45 deaths? Ah, it's nothing. Could I have made this prison contain 1,000 prisoners? I would have to have built a lot more small cells. I would have had to use this entire space for capacity as well. And our staff have gone on strike. They will be willing to return if they get their 50% pay rise. Another 24 hours. Look at that. No! Money! Power! Anarchy! This is what a strike looks like. They'll just congregate on the road here and around the road here. And they will refuse to work. And so we're stuck here for another 20 minutes-ish. And trust me, barely anyone will be willing to work. Let's just congregate everyone to here. And let's see what else we can do. Oh yeah, let's just give everyone free time. Feel free to do whatever the hell you want, whenever you want. This is crazy. I've never done this, honestly. Anything else that I could do? Finance. I cannot. Coverage is off. This prison was worth well over, like, 3 million. Okay, so let's take all of this away. No punishment for anything. For anyone. That's with... Low. None. No continuous planting. No fertilizer. Never search. No visitation. No, come on. Stop that. Come on. There we go. No stun batons. Staff keys. Nope. All that. All that. All that. I am happy with this. Anything else that I could do? Regime needs jobs. Intake closed. Transfer. Well, let's see. Did anyone actually qualify for it? Ultimately, the answer is no. So we'll turn that off too. We'll do a guard investigation on the 999 guards that we have. We will not eat, we will not sleep. We will just strike. And they just keep on coming, keep on coming. And this is yet another dark day in history. But the other one will take precedence. 17 hours. That will be our first failure. And then the dark chapter. Unless we get 20 kills right away. Which definitely will lead to a problem. I cannot end the shakedown. Hours. And the first death. I think we're gonna fail this on the amount of deaths. And not on the... Ooh. Oh boy. Staff morale is still 0. Oh man, this is gonna be intense. This is gonna be exciting. What's gonna go first? And that's 4. And 5. And 6. And 8. I can't even do a bang up. Oh boy. Master Ace and Smith are exhausted and pissed off. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we're losing this based on the amount of kills. But at least we're running a super profitable prison. You know what this requires? Undead. And actually, we should be still able to see what happens. Because in one kill, I'll be transferred into the prison. As an actual prisoner already. And with that, the game crashed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The game just crashed on me. Let me increase this. Well, I wanted to know what happened. Or how bad you would fail if the strike would go on for 24 hours and what would happen after that. However, the game just had enough, understanding that I had enough of the game. So it's a mutual feeling, I guess. But with that being said, I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. It helps out a great deal. Once more, if you really want me to play the campaign, all I need is 10 comments saying that I do on this video. Once again, in the video, I'll leave a link in the movie description to the actual prison itself, so that you could download this. Actually, no, I'm not even going to, because it didn't work. If you find it online, then be my guest, keep it. But I'm not going to even put the link in the movie description, because the experiment failed. It wasn't the 1,000 prisoners that you needed, but the 1,000 capacity. Which sucks. And it needs to be a sandbox prison, so I might do that in my own time, where I just build 3x1 cells to fill up to 1,000, I don't know. Could do that, whatever. Anyway, I am Paul with many voices. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all after my vacation for at least more Duolingo, but whatever else I will do. Maybe the campaign, maybe not, I don't know. But see you next time.